Luke 8:26 to 39. They sailed to the region of the Gerasenes, which is across the lake from Galilee. And when Jesus stepped ashore, he was met by a demonized man from the town. For a long time this man had not worn clothes or lived in a house, but had lived among the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell at his feet, shouting at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torture me." For Jesus had been commanding the impure spirits to come out of the man. Many times it had seized him, and though he was chained hand and foot and kept under guard, he had broken his chains and had been driven by the demon into solitary places. Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "Legion," he replied, because many demons had gone into him. And they begged Jesus repeatedly not to order them to go into the abyss. A large herd of pigs was feeding over there on the hillside, and the demons begged Jesus to let them go into the pigs, and he gave them permission. When the demons came out of the man, they went into the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and was drowned. When those tending the pigs saw what had happened, they ran off and reported this in the town and countryside, and the people went out to see what had happened. And when they came to Jesus, they found the man from whom the demons had gone out sitting at Jesus' feet, dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people how the demonized man had been cured. Then all the people of the region of the Gerasenes asked Jesus to leave them, because they were overcome with fear. So Jesus got into the boat and left. The man from whom the demons had gone out begged to go with him, but Jesus sent him away, saying, "You return home now and tell how much God has done for you." So the man went away and told all over town how much Jesus had done for him. This is quite the story. Where do I begin? Well, the Gerasenes or Gadarenes was a place where non-Jewish people lived, which is why they were herding pigs. And this was a very disturbed person. And I think Jesus might have known about him. His reputation had gone before him. I imagine people would have said, "Never go over to the other side of the lake. There's a madman who lives there and he's pretty scary. Stay away from there." Can you imagine the stories that might have been told? But Jesus wasn't scared. He had a job to do. As I have said many times, Jesus transforms the chaos within our lives from the inside out, and he was about to do it with this very man. In this story, he sends the evil spirits out of the man into the herd of pigs. The spirits had demanded that Jesus shouldn't send them into the abyss, which I think here means send them back to hell. So they went out of the man into the herd of pigs, who threw themselves off the cliff. Very dramatic stuff. The people who saw all this were upset. Why? Because their livelihood had been destroyed, for one. And secondly, because they didn't understand what had happened. They had no idea. It was a lot of shrieking and screaming, and Jesus probably commanding with a very loud voice, and the things went screaming off, the pigs went screaming off the end of the cliff and drowned dramatically. It was terrifying. So they didn't understand what had happened or who Jesus was. He was just this strange man who came in and healed a man. Could they trust the man who had been mad before? So Jesus tells the man to leave, possibly because he'd been a Gentile, and instead tell other people in his area what he had done for him. So the man did. Ooh. I know it may not have been quite as dramatic when God touched you, but do you tell people what Jesus has done for you?